folks, I'm back for another stream. Good to be here. Just waiting for it to all switch on. Hopefully it's all working. Good to see you. Just waiting for it to update. I think it still says I'm offline, which is weird. Shouldn't be. Oh, you can all hear me and see me, so even though I can't, I guess I must be working. So anyway, cool. Glad to be here. You have to forgive me, I'm actually a little bit ill, so I probably sound a bit funny. And yes, might not be my usual perky self, but it's alright, we'll get through. Oh, I said that I'd do guitar at the start, so yeah, cool, we're all working. I thought I might go start off just by going to my plagiarism post, about Dire or Dear or whatever, and I'll just play you these songs. So the first thing I looked at when I compared whether this song and Tinashe, how do you say it? Tinashe? I don't know. They both start with that keyboard. This sort of thing. So that's Dear. Right. And our chords. So now that's actually reasonably different to this one, even though the song's got the same tempo and the same sort of feel. I mean, it's pretty obvious that he's based his song around that Shinzadong Tiger's ripped off the song, but it's not really close. It's just the same kind of feel. Alright, so that's slightly different. So that's our thing there, and then it changes. Being a Western pop song, it doesn't have a bunch of stuff that the Dear song has. Western pop songs tend to be more simple, and it's just the same 4 chords all the way through, and that's our chord progression there. Can we see your face? I don't know, can you? Don't tell me the stream fucked up. No, it's working fine. So there you go. But yeah, as usual with the plagiarism post, I don't really give that much of a fuck. Most of my writing about that sort of stuff is really trying to get people to not care, if you know what I mean. Face cam isn't on. I don't know what you mean. It seems to be working alright for me. I can see myself. Yeah. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. So anyway, yeah, very unexciting post about deer. But then I was really ill, so I thought, oh, it's alright if people want me to do deer. So yeah, everyone else can see me. So Dunkstorm 420. I don't know, maybe too much reefer. Yeah, I'll do vocal fag files next week probably when I'm feeling a bit more healthy. I'll give that a go. So anyway, that's all I really want to talk about the deer post. It's not very interesting. It's pretty much the same as any other situation with plagiarism in K-pop. It's not really very legit. So yeah, Stiglitz is sleeping just here. There she is, sleeping on all my bags and shit, and all my tissues from the cold and whatnot. So she's just chilling out. Yeah, plagiarised songs. I mean, if it is really that close, often the originals will be credited. I have a PC, not a Mac. If you've got low stream quality, it's because I live in Australia, and our internet here isn't great, so I've got to crank the screen quality down a bit. What guitar amps do I have at my house? I don't have many. I actually only have one amp here, which is a Vox Valvetronics, which is sitting under the desk. You can't see it. And I have the one that I actually play shows with is a Vox AC15, but that's not here. That's over at my practice place. So there you go. What else was I going to talk about? Let's do stream questions. You guys had some stream questions. Do these songs sound similar to you, Brittany Criminal and TR Day by Day? Yes, they do. That's another example of a sound-alike sort of song. They do have some similarities. TR Day by Day obviously being a much superior version to the Britney song. Can't say I really like Britney's Criminal much, but I thought TR's Day by Day was really good. But yeah, it's clearly one's based on the other. The game Doom is set in Hell You Fight Demons. The Doom music track E1M1 is a copy of Metal Song No Remorse by Metallica. Carol said that Woodwind open portals to hell, with this cover being more effective at summoning Satan than the metal version. Probably. I assume this is a woodwind version of Metallica. It's got a swing beat. That's kind of cool. Yeah, Day by Day is a cool song. Yeah. So anyway, after this stream, I'm going to play a bit of computer game. I'm going to play Project Brutality Doom, which one of my nice followers has managed to help me download and stuff like that. So thank you for that. I've never seen it before, so it's the first time I've ever looked at that. So yeah, I've heard good things, so we'll check it out later. Back to the questions. Would you deem the marketing campaign of 22 months of pre-debut songs to be a success? This is Luna's campaign, of course. And, well, yeah, I think so. I think they achieved what they wanted to. Not that it matters that much if they didn't, because, that company's just got money to burn. But, yeah, I think it's worked well. And I like the song too. I'll talk about it more on Roundup, but basically, yeah, the debut song's really good. So not much difference to being a K-pop trainee. Someone's link here. I can see the word incest, so it's probably going to be pretty out there. Yeah, I'm trying to read all that shit, but answers probably. Next, if the Illuminati were funding K-poplets, would you be blogging full time? Yeah, sure. Yeah, any Illuminati people who are lurking, feel free to get on my Patreon. Here it is, and give me some money. It's definitely much appreciated. I accept all Illuminati donations. Well, being on my Patreon doesn't really get you anything, unfortunately, but it certainly helps support me. So thank you very much to the people who decide to do that. Appreciate it. And yeah, that's true. Yeah, Amish aren't allowed to have phones and whatnot. But I mean, honestly, I don't know that much about the Amish apart from what I've seen in the film Witness. Because I mean, it's an American thing, right? It's not. I don't live in America, so I don't really care about what Amish get up to. Now, what was the other thing that I posted this week? It was bias list, I think. Yeah, so we'll just have a look at this. Oh, and I just have to show you guys the for those of you who haven't seen it, I just love this comment. Yeah, you're more than welcome to translate stuff into Korean for me. That'd be fantastic. Just try and make sure it's accurate if you can. Hey, how you going? But I just really enjoyed this comment here by someone who was too chicken shit to put an actual name in, but I will. And they were upset about my comments about IU, which is here. Which I'm sure you've all read, and the response is just fantastic. Wow, that's disgusting. So if a woman looks a certain way, you make wild assumptions about her sex life. I don't know what IU has or hasn't done, nor do I care. This is why people say you objectify women. I've had to deal with so much from men because they assumed I was a slut because of how I looked. If they find you sexy, that somehow automatically means you're sexually available, which I can't control. I hope you don't treat women in real life like this. You have no idea how it feels to be treated as nothing but a walking sex doll like you. Well, that's quite an assumption there. Maybe I'm no better than you think. I remember when Britney Spears came out. Britney Spears was similar to IU in the sense that in the first two, for her first couple of albums, she had a virgin image. It was actually in her promo material or something like that she'd never been kissed. That was actually what their record label was going with. They're saying, "Oh, she's a virgin. She's never been kissed," and and she was a Christian and all this sort of stuff. And they were trying to really sell Britney Spears as a, goody two shoes, all American girl who doesn't do any naughty things. And I remember sitting down with my mum, i.e. Boram, and we were watching a video of Britney Spears for some reason. I guess it was on Top 40 or whatever. And my mum is just like, no way is that woman a virgin. It's just not possible. I'm like, how do you know? How can you assume that? And she's like, I just know. I can tell. And of course she was right. About third, fourth album time, she actually came out and admitted that it was all just a lie to promote her. I'd like to think that she passed some of those ESP powers down to me, and I can tell that I use just probably, she's 25 years old and she's very attractive, and there's no way that she hasn't seen a few loads in her lifetime. Let's be real. I'm sorry that this poor person's had to deal with a lot of shit from guys, but that's not really the issue. And then the whole objectifying women thing isn't really is a third thing that's going on in this comment. And well, yes, I do objectify women. I have an objectification survey, so where I do objectify women and men, and where I invite everyone else to join along, because I think that objectifying people is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's a bad thing to treat people poorly, I suppose, but I don't think it's a bad thing to acknowledge that someone is a sexual object. And if people think that's bad to acknowledge that someone's a sexual object, then what does that say about your own attitude towards sexuality? You know, I think it's good to be you know, open about these things, and I don't know, and just acknowledge that it's a thing that goes on. And in K-pop is very good at not acknowledging that is a thing that goes on, right? Hence Nation's Little Sister. It's a tag that's designed to make you not think of someone sexually unless you're a pedophile. So when I make a comment like that about IU, the real message that you should be taking in, if you're, you know, smart and not a dumbass, is I'm saying that the image that has been thrown on IU since the beginning of her career is actually a load of crap, and that this whole trying to keep people pure and virginal in the K-pop world is really actually quite misogynist and kind of fucked. So, you know, so that's the real message there. But I didn't write that, because if I write that, it's fucking boring and it's not funny and it's not interesting. Whereas if I make some jokes, then it's more entertaining for me. So, you know, people would like that would probably prefer I write in a really boring way. They'd probably prefer I write like, I don't know, every other blogger ever, and just have paragraph after paragraph about how morally outraged I am about this or that. So, but you know, I don't really want to write like that. It's not because it's not much fun to read, you know, because my test of quality for writing when I write is if I read it back to myself, am I kind of entertained by it? And if I'm not, then I don't write it in the first place. Even if it's something that I'm really passionate about, if I can't read it back and be entertained, then I don't write it, because I figure, well, how is anyone else going to be interested in it if I'm not, you know? So that's why I don't, you know, write those sort of ranty opinion posts that other bloggers do, because I just, you know, it's just not much fun. It's not why I write, and I wouldn't expect other people to read it and find it interesting. So I just sort of address that comment, because I was actually going to drop a comment there for that person saying I'll address it on the stream, but you know, I'm sure the person doesn't give a crap about my stream anyway. They probably just, you know, happened upon it. Yeah, and I don't think that person knew about the whole visiting the sick thing that happened. So who else we got on this list? Yeah, Sion's in the same spot as last year. Even though it's hard to kind of write about it because she hasn't really done much, because Acme's not really going right now. And I had to have Uzi in there, of course. Uzi's really nice. And Ewan Makami. This video here is the first 5 minutes of a jav that I highly recommend. It's Chen Williams, of course. Eun Jung, Eun Ha. Sully has been in the list. Sully was in the list a while back, but hasn't been active in K-pop for years. The rules for this list is if you're not actually in K-pop, if you're not a K-pop, you don't get in the list. So I had to remove Sully. And yeah, and Eves is nice. and she's got a bit of that silly vibe happening. And Ali looks great these days. Jackie Way, she just dresses nice. She's not actually outstandingly attractive, but the dress sense gets her over the line. And Alice Vicious is pretty hot, but she dresses terribly. Hong Jin Young and Curie were in there before. John Young's easily the most attractive woman in Twice. For me, I think they give her the short hair all the time, so she doesn't just blow everyone else out of the water attractive wise. But mind you, she suits the mid-length hair anyway. Looks good. I didn't actually know the name of this woman from Very Good. I had to actually research it. And yeah, and I had to have Chew in there, of course. And You're From Our Girl, Nayeon, and Daeon. Yeah, John Young's hotter than those two, I reckon. And Nayeon and Daeon look very similar. Excuse me. I'm really ill, like I said before. I haven't got Raina. Raina's just always going to be at the bottom now. No matter what. I'm just going to stick her down there until she quits K-pop. And yeah, look, I would agree that John Young doesn't actually have the best short hairstyles, but she looks really good anyway. They sort of give her this 80s, these horrible 80s haircuts, mid-length 80s haircuts, and they're pretty bad. But she pulls it off because she can. She's just that attractive. So there you go. It's a bias list. Might just quickly whiz over to Asian Junkie and see what's going on in news. See if there's anything that I can force myself to give a crap about. I don't really care about that. There's something about J-pop I don't care. I don't know what Asian Junkie is referring to about this, but I really like this post actually, because it baits you into thinking that there's actually some text in there, and then you click on it, it's just a picture. That's one of the best posts Asian Junkie's ever done. Snakes will be snakes. Steel's just making a move. What are you doing? What's up? She's just having a leak. BTS new song, which isn't that great. Somehow Asian Junkie milked 2 articles about this chick falling over on stage. More J-pop stuff, more Snake stuff. Oh, there's a Korean Indies review of Focus. I don't know how many people have been buying it for the K-pop Lips rate. But yeah, just remember, $23.74. If you're going to buy Focus, that's how much you got to spend. Not 1 cent more or less. And where's his review of I can't find his review of the Luna song. Maybe I got to go back further. No, no, there it is. Yeah, and of course he doesn't like the song because he's got rocks in his head and no music taste. So, by the way, Asian Junkie said yes to doing an interview with me in November, so that'll be fun. I'll enjoy doing that. Not sure if he will. Actually, no, I'm sure it'll be good. Actually, we'll both enjoy it. If he ends up having time to do it, he reckons he doesn't have time until November, but I doubt that, seeing some of the content of his posts, that he does have time for. I don't have much else to say on this string. I'll just refresh this, make sure someone hasn't dropped another stream question in. Yeah, I don't know why November. I think probably something to do with his baseball schedule. That's probably when all the baseball's finished or whatever. I'm not sure why the Stay Hydrated bot has sort of kicked in. But there you go. Stay hydrated, folks. Yeah, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get him to do a picture of his face and some holding up something saying K-Popalypse. But yeah, I'm sure he won't do that, given how cagey he's been about his identity in the Dreamcatcher posts. I mean, if it was me, going to see Dreamcatcher in a fan meet in LA, I would have tried to get a picture with me and the girls. So, yeah, I don't know. I know why he wants to be anonymous. Craziness. Maybe he's just embarrassed or something. But he shouldn't be, Maybe he's worried that if people, don't think he's a midget, lesbian, black dwarf, they might not take him seriously anymore or something like that. Anyway, that'll probably do for the stream. I'm going to start playing some Doom now. Project Brutality. But feel free to keep talking shit about K-pop for a while I do that. So